150 yards. Doesn't really matter.
Frank, this is an approach shot here at the first hole that will get a player's attention.
It will. Very strategically placed bunker that protects that front right of the green. Judge that inch perfect.
Well, this one should be safely on deck here. Pure strike, good result.
And that is close.
And getting ready for the putt. One under early in the round. Frank, the second hole is only 371 yards. What's the challenge here?
The bunkering. This is really well bunkered. You'd expect that for a hole this short. If it's well bunkered, it means that it's vital to get it on the fairway. Whoop, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. So on the putting surface and taking a good look now at this birdie putt here at the second. Frank, this would be a nice way to jumpstart the round.
Yeah, his momentum can quickly go in the right direction if he makes this.
Wow, I can't believe he found the cup. Gives you a variety of holes, and we see that. Granted, 3 par 4s to start, but each one with a different look.
They certainly are, Rich, and it's amazing what one good bunker will do. And the bunker I'm referring to is the one down the left side. That's about 285 yards to carry. It's the sort of bunker that keeps you honest.
Oh, this looks good.
Certainly is.
Paying attention like a little kid at school, Frank. That baby's sitting up.
Sitting up. It's got the best view as well. You don't even need binoculars from where that ball is.
On the green, and a chance for birdie. Let's see if he can make it 3 in a row.
He can't be that good.
That's a birdie for McIlroy. He's just so explosive. Frank, here's a case at the fourth hole, this par 3 of Pete Dye kind of messing with a player's mind. Just how does he do it?
Well, there's a straight line between that tee and the flag. That's the obvious thing. But if you follow the look of the hole down there, it's just the shaping of the bunkers, the little curving of the edges there that just take that mind's eye away, almost making it look like there's a little bit of a dog leg in a straight hole. Very clever. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
No, it looks like it's going to be in the rough. Frank, what happened there on the approach?
It was a poor decision. And let's see now. Got to think this one out a little bit better than that second shot, see if we can get it up and down. Oh, that was solid, Rich. This one's safely on.
Locked in on the read and the speed. Keeps the momentum going with that putt. Stays at 3 under. Well, here we are at the fifth hole, a 535-yard par 5 for the long-hitting professionals. Frank, certainly not a long test. What is the challenge here on this hole?
It's another example of great design by Pete Dye. He'll give you the trouble on the left on the tee shot, and then he moves the trouble to the right on the second shot. It's going to get you one way or the other. Oh, that's got to be 300 yards, isn't it?
To where the hole is cut, just about 190 yards, Frank. Frank, where's this one headed?
It might just catch the left side of the green. On the dance floor, but it's going to be a long way away from the band.
Crucial eagle attempt on the way. And he has it, Frank.
I don't believe it.
Well, the architect Pete Dye is known for visual intimidation. We see it at TPC Sawgrass at the Players every year. And you see it right here, Frank, at this 255-yard par 3/6 with water everywhere you look.
Yeah, you could make an argument here that it suits a little bit of a cut, like a Lee Trevino-style fade that starts at the left and moves its way to the green, but then that's also moving back towards the water. Conversely, if you try and fly it over that water on the right side with a little bit of a draw, then the green starts to run out on the left side. Have I made it sound hard?
That should be pretty good right there. On the safe side. That's well played. Now a good look at birdie.
It's at sneaky distance. It's amazing. Doesn't matter how close it goes. It's an extra shot. That one will definitely hurt.
Just a couple of feet. Routine stuff for Rory. That's a par. Frank, the 7th is a short par 4, 346 yards. So I'm guessing it's a layup off the tee, but it might be a nervy layup because you have water on the right, and if you miss left, that's no bargain.
It's very distracting looking down the right side. I think that's the easiest way to put it. But if you can break this hole down, 346 yards, if you take 120 yards off that, which is like a wedge, then the layup only becomes like 220 yards. That seems a little less intimidating.
Frank, he is one of the longest hitters in the game, but at some point, you have to hit a fairway.
Yeah, he's certainly not the straightest. I think that was the bit you're going to put in the middle.
So the second of the par 4 goes begging, and now I'll have to rely on the short game.
Yeah, but a short game, as we all know, can redeem a lot of mistakes. See if he does it here.
And he's made it onto the green now. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. 555-yard par 5 8th hole. Frank, is this a 2-shotter or a 3-shotter?
Good question, Rich. It starts to shrink down by the walkway, which is around that 330-yard mark. That's the decision has to be made. Personally, I think you try it at first, because even if you do find a fairway bunker, then it is certainly a layup. If you've got the distance, it's well worth the risk.
That appeared to be a good strike right there, Frank.
Oh, good. It's just towering. Look at that hanging in the sky.
Well, that's the way you draw it up here at the 8th. You want to get it out there. He's done that, and he's kept it in the fairway. Let's see what McIlroy does now with his second. This is a good-looking shot. And a chance for eagle after that perfectly played shot.
Right. This is an awkward length.
Just has the feel today. Frank, as we arrive here at the par 4 9th, 452 yards, I hear players like you often say, I'm going to take it on. What do you mean by that, and how does it apply to this particular tee shot?
Well, you have options, obviously. One is to hit it down that right side, which is your best shot. The easy way is obviously to bail it out down the left side, but then you're almost giving into the hole, like you're accepting you're going to make bogey if you're lucky. So in the end, you're forced to go back to option A, which is actually the challenge.
NASA, we have a splashdown. Now on to his third shot after the last one went into the water. Frank, getting set for this approach shot, our featured golfer is a player, it's obvious, in full flight right now.
It is. This is where it doesn't matter what the sport is, and golf is a great example for it, though, where when you play your best, it's almost like you're just playing out of your subconscious. Everything happens, it just flows, and you don't really think about it.
That was well done, and now a very short putt to get out of here with a bogey.
Well, it could be a lot worse, that's for sure. 5 minutes ago.
So not his best work. He'll walk away with a bogey. Well, that was a nearly flawless performance on the front side, but Frank, we know it's an 18-hole game, isn't it?
That's right. Now's not the time to pat yourself on the back.
That is a really good tee shot right there, Frank.
I think that tipped the 300-yard mark.
Frank, this is a position where a player is absolutely licking his chops here. Good chance to make a birdie.
Yeah, this is when this game just looks like fun. Bunkers don't seem to be in play. The only thing you're really looking at right now is just the flag. Oh, solid strike right in the heart of the green.
Early part of this back nine and a good approach shot. Now we'll have this for birdie.
It's no snack, though.
Tough start to the backside, Frank.
Yeah, it doesn't bode well, too. You start losing confidence with the putter early on.
Has this to save par. Good round going at 6 under. Well, we've arrived at our third par 5 of the day here at PGA West. It is the 11th. It is nicknamed, appropriately, Eternity. 617 yards. Right out of the center of the bat.
Did you hear that? Yeah, it's fine.
Impressive play so far into these heavy winds. You could say he's just been breezing through this round. That was a big, bold strike, and now a chance for a big, bold move. Putt for eagle coming up. So close. Well, you couldn't ask for much more than that, except to make it. Getting set now over the putt. Yes, get in. 7 under par. Another birdie. Frank, now another clever, small par 4, only 363 yards here at the 12th.
A couple of different options here, Rich. You can lay it up just short of where that nose of the bunker starts to poke out on the right side of the fairway. then you're going to be left with something in the sort of 140, 150 yard mark to the flag. Or if you want to get a little sort of greedy, you start to sneak it up there where it gets narrow. It's shorter, but it requires a better shot.
Appears to be a smart shot, Frank.
Yeah, no problem here. That's going to fly all the way.
Frank landed it on the green.
It was never going to stop.
No chance. Good thing he stayed in the first cut, because just a couple of feet over, that rough is really deep. How good was that, Frank, from the rough?
Oh, that's amazing. That's a master class in short game.
Now a 7-footer. You see the blend of holes here from the long par 5 to the short par 4, now to the 214-yard par 3 13th.
Look, this is taken off on a weird line.
And it's going to be in the rough, it looks like. Still some work to do here at the par 3, Frank.
Yeah, you'd think there with the size of that green, this green would be an easy one to hit, but that's irrelevant now. Let's see if he can get it up and down.
Nice approach shot. He'll be happy with that. Standing over this putt, concentrating on the read. That's a nice confidence builder right there. You make those for par, and you keep things steady. Frank, what's the best way to make 3 here at this 389-yard par 4 14th?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's 2 definitive options, hitting it down the left or carrying over the bunker. And I think that's another example of Pete Dye. There's one of those holes you never really know if you've made the right play till you finish the hole.
Well, this one is offline just a bit. Look out. That one is going to end up in the rough. We moved that one out there, but he is not going to like the lie.
That moved down in the rough.
And setting up here in the rough. Oh, looked like he caught a flyer right there, Frank.
Well, I don't know what he caught, but this is way too much. Well, just a little too much, Rich.
I don't know if it was wind at his back. He didn't calculate it, but he's going to be left with a difficult chip shot here. Frank, how good was that just to get it on the green?
Well, from that shot there, you would have thought for sure that there was no chance he had of finding the green. That was some shot. Oh, another one goes in.
Frank, if a player needs to make a big move at the close of the round, how could they get at this whole location and make a birdie? They call this turning home.
Yeah, I think that's where you have to be a little more aggressive off the tee shot. A drive of 280 yards can certainly take those 2 bunkers down the left out of play. There is one in the distance down there, 350 yards, so even the longest hitters can still hit driver down there. You imagine pumping one down there sort of 340 yards. Now you turn a long hole into a drive and a wedge. That's how you get aggressive.
That's an absolute tracer right there. In the fairway and well over 320 yards. This one looks like it's headed right for the middle of the dance floor, Frank.
Rather nice shot, I would say.
Well, that's how you do it. Hit it close, take the pressure off that putt. That one should be no problem. Nails it. That is now 6 birdies on the card. Now to the par 5 16th. Frank, this is a pretty solid hole.
Like all the other par 5s here, length gets a big advantage here. This hole, as you've mentioned, bends to the left, and that bunker can be taken out of play by the longest hitters. 326 yards will get you past that. Otherwise, there's sort of a V shoot down the right side that everybody else has to respect. Now, this is not heading in the right direction.
It looks like it's going to be in the rough.
Yeah, it was a little over-ambitious.
Second shot coming out of the rough here. Frank, this one is veering far to the left. Frank, you always talk about it not compounding the error, but here again, another shot from the rough.
Yeah, if you try again.
Frank, it's not about getting the ball close to the hole from that spot.
Well, he had no chance to get it close. I thought he had very, very, very little chance of getting it on the green. So given that, that was a very good shot. Just a fraction too aggressive. Remember, line and speed go together.
Sometimes you want that birdie so badly, and all of a sudden you're faced with a lot of work, more work than you had hoped for, just to make the par. Just an amazing display. The records continue to fall. Now to the signature par 3. It only plays 168 yards from the tips, but the tee sits up high and the wind can blow, and a lot can happen here.
Oh, nice strike, Rich. Not quite directly in line with the flag.
Just drifting a bit to the right, but he'll settle. That's well played, and now a good look at birdie.
Good read, good line, well played.
Well, here we are at 18. It's a par 4, only 439 yards, but again, we've said it all day long, water to deal with.
It's a great driving hole here, Rich. You don't necessarily have to hit driver. There's 3 groups of bunkers that are really in play off the tee shot. It's the one in the middle. It's around 290 yards. That's the one you really have to focus on. For stronger players, there's nothing wrong with hitting 3-wood off the tee there. You're still only going to have a shot of 150, 160 yards. Whichever way you look at it, it's something that you think you can find the fairway with.
Just a beautiful approach shot. You don't want to let this one get away. This is about concentration and focus at this point. Oh, the great hits just keep coming. Moves to -11 on the day. Frank, solid effort today. What's your assessment?
Golf like that can certainly result in wins, that's for sure. But more importantly, the opportunity to get one.